The thing I was worried about for the Shobek duel was the FAP all in. So I was worried that Shobek was gonna FAP and send like a big opener with the ambush, but the Gnomish Alarmobot is so cooked. I swear, it's so fucking OP. You guys see it like this? I had two of them. This thing. This literally summons a bot for 10 minutes and it just AoEs out stealthies. And it just follows you around on your mount. It lasts for 10 minutes. This thing is crazy. You know, I tested this before the Mak'Gora tournament last year. I tested it with PS Hero. And PS Hero would go to sap me. The bot would take him out. And then I would be sapped next to the bot. And he would re-stealth. And before he could re-stealth cheap shot me or re-stealth ambush me, the bot would take him out. It like insta takes him out. Like, look at my Alarma bot. Look at it. Look how disgusting this thing is. Wait. Look what happens when I get sapped here. Look at this. As soon as I get sapped, boop. How insane is that? It just pops him out immediately. And then it just stays on top of me. And look now, he's gonna re-stealth and try to open. Look at the bot, again. Before he can open, it just takes him out. Before he gets in range of opening, it just takes him out again. It's not targetable, you can't kill it. You can't kill it, you can't do anything about it. The thing is, the crux is, chat, that it requires 265 engineering. So like, while Shobek was farming all of his bisc gear, he was farming all of this shit, I was just grinding Engie. My boy Defro, he had higher mining than me, he had like 200 mining or whatever. I told him, bro, the only thing I need is just Engie. I just need Engie levels. And this recipe to get the Alarmobot, it's like a 1% drop in BRD. Like, look, it's this. What's the drop rate on it? Let's check. It's a 5% drop by the weapon technicians in Blackrock Depths. So this thing dropped, and my boy Fogged, he rolled need on it because he figured I might want to use that because he knew I used it in the last tournament. And I had another problem, right? Because the way I wanted to deal with Shobek's FAP, and also like, look at the sweat. Do you guys see this? You see this trinket, how it's like wrapped as a present? That's my Gnomish cloaking device. I didn't want Shobek to know I had a cloaking device. And the reason why the cloaking device is so OP is because you blink, you cloak. Now I popped vanish on his screen, and look at this. If I start casting a sheep, I'm still in cloak. And when the sheep goes off, that's when the cloak goes off. So on Shobek's screen, I will just be in stealth, and then he will just be a sheep, and I'll pop up at the same time. And that's why I didn't want to show this the whole day. The whole day, I had this mechanical dragonling equipped as my trinket, but I'm never going to use this. This is an offensive trinket. You don't want to start a duel against a rogue with an offensive trinket. So instead what I did was, I obviously want to have a keybind to be able to use it, but I don't want him to know that. And same thing with my helm. I didn't want him to know I had a fucking rocket helm with 100 stam on it. So instead, I was wearing this Dark Mist hat of the Eagle, and I had my cloak device and my rocket helm here, and then the whole day I had a fight card blocking this shit. So you guys could never see my backpack bag. So I just had this fight card blocking it. And I just showed my consumables, you know? And then I just ran around like this the whole time. I just have a nifty stopwatch and mechanical dragoning, nothing to see there. And then as soon as the duel started, I equip the cloak device and I equip the rocket helm. And the other thing is, this macro that says Frostbolt, I actually made a macro that has Frostbolt on it, but it's not a Frostbolt macro. It just has the Frostbolt icon, and it uses my Goblin rocket helmet, because I didn't want him to know that I had rocket helm, because he can vanish it while it's mid animation, and he can skull it as well, and he has Skull of Impending Doom. So I didn't want him to know that I had the rocket helm, and he would know if I had it on my bar. And I don't really want to start the duel and start making keybinds, right? So I made a macro instead for it. Now, some more sweat tech that I did. Yeah, I mean, you guys know. Like, is somebody gonna outsweat me? Pfft, not in this life. is that I got these elixirs of poison resistance. So every night we were out farming spiders. This drop rate on these is ass. It's like 8% or 7% from like the scorpions and shimmering flats and the spiders in Dust Wallow. So we were out farming spiders to get this. Okay? And an OP thing in duels is in Classic WoW, there's something called pre-dispelling. So in Classic WoW, if I have a curse and it says nothing, do you guys see this? It doesn't use my global if I try to decurse. It says nothing to dispel. But the moment I get a curse, it will instantly dispel it. So I can hold this down like this, and as soon as I get a curse, it dispels it. But what I can also do is if I poison elixir and I'm spamming it, the moment I get crippling poison, it's just instantly gone. Now, what you can do if you really want to be a 5-head is you can just macro this into all your abilities. So that's what I did. All of these macros use elixir of poison resistance. You see that? All of these macros are just using it. All of these macros. So in the duel against Shobek, as soon as he opens on me, you guys probably don't see it, but in the duel, as soon as he opens on me, he procs a crippling poison. And as soon as he procs a crippling poison, I blink and it instantly removes it. Look, when I'm spamming my blink, you see that this lights up and it says nothing to dispel. So as soon as I blink, like his crippling poison is up for like 0.1 seconds. Like I said, chat, when it comes to the sweat, you guys know me. I get cheap shot. I get kidneyed. I get crippled. And then I just blink. And it just removes the crippling as well. Right here. This was the moment I remember. Look at this. He opens on me. He procs a kidney. Look at this. Crippling poison fades. Look how fast that is. Look at my debuff here. Yes, sir. It's so fast. Like he nets me. He vanishes. He opens. He procs a crippling. And at the same time, I'm spamming my blink as he procs the crippling. And it just instantly blinks and deletes it. Just automatic. It's just AI gameplay, dude. I knew he had like fire weapon, oil of immolation. He had like sapper charges. So I knew that he had all of that stuff as well. So I pre-popped fire protection potion. And then I pre-popped nature protection potion as well for his poisons. What else did I do to prep? I had Rumsey's Rum Black Label, 15 stamina. I thought that this would stack with the Rumsey's, but you can't use this if you use the Rumsey. I got Elixir of Fortitude. I had Stealth Detection Elixir, which I think makes my Alarmobot also better, but I'm not sure. I had level 40 food with 12 stamina on it. I had Agility Scroll, which also actually I had Agility Elixir, which gives you dodge. So your chance to dodge like a kidney or a gouge goes up by like, I don't know, like 1% or something. If you pop this, and it gives you a little bit of armor too. It makes you tankier. What else did I do? Oh yeah, I used this. I was gonna pop this when he blinds me, but the thing is, this thing shares cooldown with Healthstone. And another thing that I did before the duel was I asked a Warlock to respec improved Healthstone and then trade me 2 Healthstones. So I really wasn't gonna die to an all-in that likely, but I was scared when he got the Gut Ripper that he would have like insane damage, because I think with Gut Ripper, your ambush is just gonna crit super hard. But luckily for me, he never really got to press any ambushes because his Alarmobot just Tactics suggested it to him, but he didn't have 50 gold for duel spec. If he did that, he would have gotten completely shit on immediately. It's good that he didn't listen to Tactics on that. It really wouldn't have worked. No way it would have worked. I would have just blocked the blind and then cold snapped instantly, because if he doesn't have prep as combat, right? So he can't reset his blind. The reason why you don't want to block a sap is because, well, he just preps and then blinds me again, you know? And then he can blind ambush or sap and get another ambush. But if he's combat, that doesn't apply. And then he would just be trapped as a combat rogue, which is horrible for him. I had a couple of ways to deal with his opener. So I had a strategy in mind. If he opens on me with FAP, so the best way to do that is to pre-FAP before you hit me, because otherwise my ice armor is going to slow him, you know? If my ice armor slows him and he has a FAP up, I can just kite his FAP. Like, he's not going to reach me, you know? He has to pop every CD just to get to me with the FAP. It's horrible for him. So what the rogue should do is, a rogue should sap me, and then when his stealth is off cooldown again, because the sap will take him out of stealth at this level, when his stealth is off cooldown again, he should FAP and then instantly stealth and then open, because then he will be immune to the ice armor slow, and then he will have sprint. But I had 2 ways to counter that, and the first thing I wanted to do was, if he FAPs, I wasn't going to stopwatch. I was going to invis. So I would have blinked, invised, and then sheeped his FAP. And if he vanishes, then I would just run in a straight line, you know, until I get my blink back up and make it really hard for him to open. I would just spam Arcane Explosion and just run in a straight line, you know, to get my blink back. Because then he used FAP, Sprint, and Vanish, which is half his cooldowns, for 1 trinket. And I still have my block, I still have everything. I would be massively ahead. The other thing that I could do is just instantly Rocket Helm him. But it's a bit sketchy because he might pop a skull in the opener when he's going for the all-in as well. The other thing I wanted to do was, I wanted to blink. If he doesn't FAP, I wanted to blink and then instantly nade him. And if he vanishes the nade, which is what like all the good rogues do, they vanish the nade and then they pop sprint and then they try to catch me before the blink. If they do that, I would stopwatch. Now, his sprint gives him 60% movement speed, but his stealth gives him, I think, a 35% debuff to his speed. So if I pop stopwatch and I just run in a straight line, and this is where a lot of mages will f up. A lot of mages will just pop a blizzard to try to take him out, but blizzard has a delay. So like, look at this. If I blizzard, you see? It has a delay before it does damage. And when a rogue has sprint up, he will just run through the blizzard before it takes him out. So you have to blizzard like here, you know? And it's just too risky that you just get cheap shot at the same time with no blink, and then you have to block, and then he can blind you, and you don't have a block for the blind, and it's just cooked, you know? So the best thing to do actually is to just blink, run in a straight line, and then just stopwatch and not even try to get him out. Then I trade my stopwatch for his Vanish, Sprint, and FAP. And not FAP, but his Vanish and Sprint, which is also like a huge trade for me. Rocket Helm is more of like an item that I would use as like a oh shit button. I wanted to either use it to execute him, like to just Rocket Helm him on 1% HP, and then say a bunch of RP and then send him. But yeah. And also I got Trinket menu because after the opener, I would swap my Trinket. I was going to play Mortar because chances are he would FAP in the opener. This is what I thought was the most likely thing to happen, was that he would sap me, pop a FAP, and then try to open on me. And if he did that, the best counter would be Blink Cloak Device. And then after I Cloak Device, either he gets sheeped and I have a chance to resheep his Trinket, or he's gonna vanish. If he did that, I would swap my Trinket to Mortar. And Mortar is it's a really insane trinket as well. It's an instant stun that doesn't share cooldown with nades. Mortar has a chance to backfire. And when Mortar backfires, it stuns you. But the stun is actually a buff. And you can cancel it. And I already had, you see? I have this macro as well. In my Ice Barrier, Blink, Poison Elixir, like use whole spellbook macro in my AI macro. So I would Blink, then Mortar, and then as soon as this hits, it stuns the target, you know? And he has to vanish the nade like mid-air, you know? I didn't have that much time to prep. Like, we said that we were doing this Mak'Gora, I think on Monday or Tuesday, and I had to get to level 40. And when I got to level 37, I knew, okay, I'm gonna need to farm the robe from RFD, so I'm gonna need to run dungeons. I'm gonna need to do Uldaman, and I did Uldaman as well for, I was doing Uldaman at level 37 for this staff. It's just a 20 stamina, 8 strength staff, you know? So we killed this boss as well a couple of times, but it never dropped. So I knew, okay, I'm gonna have to go into Uldaman, that's gonna give me XP. I'm gonna have to go into RFD, that's gonna give me XP. I'm gonna have to do a stopwatch quest, and that's gonna give me XP. If I don't find any better greens, I might have to do some quests just to get better greens. Yesterday, I did the question for this to get better greens, so I'm gonna have to do that as well. So I knew there was a couple of things that I need to do. Also, I knew I had to do SM to get the quest neck from SM. So I knew there's a lot of things that I'm gonna need to do that give me XP. So if I AoE farm to 40 and then I do all of this, I'm gonna think 41, and then I'll just lose, you know, because I'm 41 and he's 40, and we said 40v40. I intentionally slowed down. As soon as I hit 37, I stopped AoE farming and I just started spamming dungeons. And then as soon as the items dropped, because I got really lucky yesterday, I got the staff from SM, which isn't great against Rogue, but it was better than the Wailing Cavern staff that I had. And I got the robe from RFD, and I got the cape from RFD. And I sent the armor enchant on it, of course. And also another thing that I was worried about was the rend buff, but a guy in the guild had the rend buff. And I was like, bro, please drop the rend. He's like, bro, are you serious? Like, you're gonna use world buff? I was like, bro, he has rend and songflower. Like, please, man. I'm sitting here AFK in org, because I was sitting in org AFK, but like for 1 hour, just praying that somebody's gonna drop a rend so I could boon it. So I was like, bro, please just drop it, man. End my misery, man, please. And he was like, okay, fine, I'll do it. So then he did, and then I instantly booned it. Then this morning, I had to go and get Songflower as well. And I only slept like 4 hours. And I know I'm not going to play that well. If I slept 4 hours, I'm coming off being sick as well. Like the chance that, or the risk that, you know, I mess up and I choke a bit is going to be too high. So I need to get some sleep. So I just went to bed again, and I took like a 2-hour nap, woke up late as and that's why I started my stream so late as well. But I'm glad I did, because I felt like I was sharp, you know, in the moment. Don't ever go to another streamer and like flame them because you think, oh yeah, that's what I would have wanted. I would never want that, you know. That's not the kind of community we want in here. We want to have fun. We want to talk a little bit of smack. But as soon as the duels are over, we're chilling. We're just playing some bangers and having some good vibes.